Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And it's been I think it's been 2 weeks since I've seen you guys, so I'm really excited to be back. There is a reason why you guys haven't seen me in the past few weeks, unless you're in my live streams, then you might have seen them. But Pokemon Go released about 2 weeks ago some breaking news, is what they like to call it. And we found out that we were going to get some Gigantamax raids. And I have a lot to say about these raids just because I have been able to do them. I have been able to do the Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur ones, as well as the Gengar ones that we got during the Halloween event. So I'm really excited to kind of talk about it. This is kind of a different type of video. We're kind of sitting down and we're talking about my experience with the raids and what I think about them. So hopefully you guys can relate to this. I did ask for help on Instagram on your guys' opinion of how you guys felt about the raids. So I'm really excited to hop into this. So of course, we noticed that there were some power spots that were coming around October 26th through 27th. And we kind of knew that these raids were going to be happening, especially with the introduction of Dynamax raids. So we knew we were going to get Gigantamax raids as well, but we just didn't know when. We just kind of knew soon. So then, of course, Pokemon Go comes and kind of gives us a trailer of something. So here it is, and honestly, you guys have probably seen this already. It was definitely something that everyone was excited for, and I'm gonna kind of skip through it. Oh, there we go. And we got that Charizard that was showing up, and it was just definitely something really good to expect, right? And a lot of us didn't know what to expect since it was the first time that this was going to be shown in Pokemon Go. So now that we kind of have done them and we've kind of got a little taste of the raids, there is a lot to talk about, especially right now. So of course, these raids were brought up October 26th to 27th, and they featured Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur. And in the infographic, if you were to go on the Pokemon Go website, I don't know if it's changed since the first time it got released, but it said go big with Dynamax and Gigantamax, right? And we were told that we're going to get these raids, and you could join these raids with a total of 40 people. And when I saw this, I was surprised just because 40 people is a lot. And especially for someone like me who lives in a very rural area where not many people play, it was kind of concerning, right? It was concerning, and I knew that these were probably not going to be able to be remote. And it was just this big conversation that happened in my city just because of the concern of it. So once these raids hit, I woke up pretty early. We kind of got a raid team going on. We got about 20 people the first day on Saturday to raid with us, and it was a hot mess. It was a really big hot mess. A lot has to do that we were a little bit unorganized just because, like I said, we didn't really know what to expect. So we were a little bit unorganized when it came to creating a group. So by the time the raids hit, it was around, I think we got all together around 11-ish that we were all able to kind of meet up and kind of raid. And the first raid we did, not noticing it was one of the hardest ones, which was Blastoise. So we hopped into the Blastoise raids, and we didn't even get halfway through the damage with the Blastoise, which was kind of, it was, looking back at it, is kind of funny now just thinking about it. But we thought we could take down this raid. Unfortunately, we couldn't. It was kind of a test run to see what we could do, and we didn't do much. So that was kind of disappointing. So then we talked around. We were able to do a few more people showed up, and we did end up doing a Venusaur raid, which we were able to defeat, which was really, really satisfying. And we ended up getting it. Unfortunately, no shinies, but I will say, by the end of Saturday, I kind of felt a thrill. I felt something that I haven't felt in a while, especially in the Pokemon Go community. Usually sometimes the Pokemon Go community, especially when you're playing in person, can get a little bit lonely. So this time around, we were able to kind of create a plan and create a strategy and be able to defeat these raids. So it kind of felt thrilling. It felt exciting. It felt something fresh, something that definitely I haven't felt in a while. So of course, next day we kind of planned it out a little bit better. We were able to do a few more raids, and it was just a really great time, even though it took us a while to kind of get our strategy down and be able to gather those 40 people. So as you guys might know, I do live in a more rural area where not many people play. So that was one of my biggest concerns. And it was my biggest concern because I know a lot of people don't have many people in their community to play. So it was kind of upsetting or kind of concerning, especially because not everyone has equal chances. And this is an issue that I have been bringing back and rotating around because it's a pretty prominent problem in Pokemon Go. Not everyone has fair chances. Of course, I know the purpose of Niantic and their goal was to make sure that people go outside and play the game in person, but it is very upsetting when there's people in different areas that don't have the same opportunity as others. And I think that's one of the main concerns that we need to definitely bring up. So I feel for my friends who were probably struggling or probably didn't even attempt to do the raids because they knew they probably couldn't get them done. So that was definitely one of the issues. So by the end of the night, I had these feelings of frustration and these feelings of just mixed feelings. I had that thrill, but yet I was kind of stressed out about getting enough people to do these raids because, like you guys might know, in regular raids, you're able to battle with up to 20 people in the raids. And usually you can defeat these raids with 4 people, sometimes even 3 or 2. Sometimes you're even able to solo them. So when Niantic came out and said that people could battle up to 40 people, I kind of assumed that it would take maybe 10 people, maybe 12. But I didn't expect that the 40 people would be used in these raids. So once I did get in there and I was able to battle and I was able to do these raids, it was kind of shocking to see how long it took. And of course, like always, there was definitely some feedback and some lashback when it came to these raids. So of course, like I mentioned, I did go on Instagram. I did go on my Instagram and kind of ask you guys how you guys felt about these raids, just to get your opinion and to see if you guys felt the same way that I did. What were your opinions on the Gmax raids this weekend? So I kind of wanted to get a thought and to see if I was the only person that felt that way or if multiple people felt that way. So I did get a good amount of responses when it came to this question, and I'm gonna read a few of them that I thought were interesting. So some people said not even going to try, would have been better to use remote raid passes, too hard to beat. In my community, we'd be lucky to get 6 to 7 people together in person. This event was a skip. Sucks. Gmax should have been remote raidable, introduce remote particles or something, and so on. As you guys can see, there was definitely a lot more negativity or a lot more negative feedback than positive. I did get a few that were a little more positive. So I honestly think it was too soon. Not many people were able to grind, and I did see some people that said that for them it was easier, that they didn't know why people were complaining. And of course, I could see both sides. Definitely something that we should have prepared for. I don't think it was too soon that they brought them out, but I do think that we should have been more prepared and more informed of what to expect. And of course, like always, we didn't really know how to expect until we were able to raid those raids and be able to do them in person. But yeah. So of course, Niantic then put out a statement saying that they were going to fix this and they were going to make raids a little bit easier when it came to these kind of raids, as well as providing more Stardust. And I'll put the information that they put out over here that I was able to get online, as well as being able to catch them. So another problem that was prominent in these raids were that people weren't able to catch the Pokemon even after battling and going all through, even going after that whole problem. So, of course, the following week we got Gengar, and to be completely honest, I did do a few Gengar raids, and it was definitely a lot easier than Blastoise and Venusaur and Charizard, and it was just definitely easier to beat. We didn't really use the 40 people, even though 40 people did come out to be able to raid, and it was just kind of more prepared than we were the week before. But so overall, my thoughts on these raids are that, of course, I think a lot of it was we just weren't prepared for it. We weren't prepared. We didn't know what to expect. We kind of jumped the gun without knowing and dipping our toes into the situation and knowing how to raid or how hard it was going to be. So that was definitely one of the biggest issues when it came to these raids. Now that I think we've kind of familiarized ourselves more with it, I think we're able to kind of be able to create a strategy, maybe even plan for it, and be able to do these raids. Like I mentioned earlier, I do live in a city that's more rural and not many people gather up or into raid. Sometimes people's schedules don't fit or align with other people's schedules, so we can't just all come out at the same time. So that was definitely another issue that I saw. Overall, though, I will say, like I mentioned earlier, it was this sort of thrill that kind of arose, right? During these raids, we were able to kind of strategize and be able to talk, because a lot of times in the Pokemon Go community, especially during Calm Day or even these events that go on, or research days, sometimes I don't even get to interact with these other trainers, right? Sometimes I don't even get a word in. Sometimes I don't even, like, I see them around, but I don't even know their names because I never get to interact with them. So it was nice that all these people were in one area, and it kind of forced us to kind of talk and create these strategies and be able to defeat it and make a plan for it. So that was definitely something that I did enjoy, and it just felt very new. It felt foreign, but it felt familiar. So that was really exciting feeling in that raid. Of course, I feel for my friends who are in rural areas. I know a lot of people didn't even attempt to do the raids because they knew how hard they were, or they saw on Twitter from people who were able to get the raids before them how difficult it is. And I will say it did take 40 people to defeat those raids. Everyone had a purpose, whether you were in raiding or whether you were healing, whether you were cheering, like either way, there was a purpose for every single one of you. And cheering did help. So please don't leave the raids if all your Pokemon are out of it. Just cheer. Get that meter up. But other than that, guys, I mean, like I said, I was frustrated. I feel it. I was very frustrated that weekend. I didn't even want to create a video. Like I said, that's why there was no video posted. I was very frustrated. I was just very overwhelmed. I was just very stressed, and that's why the reason why I didn't post the video as well, because I was feeling those emotions as well. I am glad that Niantic did listen to what we had to say. Whether you guys agree with the adjustments they made or not, that it is what it is. We can't really expect a lot from Niantic, of course. And something I also want to mention was the price. It cost a lot of money to definitely do those raids as well, especially when I ran out of the particles. So I did spend a good penny on them as well. So that is something to look out for as well. But I don't know, guys. It's gonna be a work in progress, something so new, something that we're still trying to familiarize ourselves with, trying to create these strategies, trying to see what works, what doesn't work, right? And be able to get those people as well. So of course, if you live in a more rural area, you're not able to kind of get together at a certain time. It benefits the people that are in a better populated cities. But yeah, guys, I want to know how you guys feel about these raids, because of course, like I said, I have a lot of mixed emotions with it. I was very frustrated, and I was very I wasn't having it that day or that weekend. So I don't know how you guys are feeling. I really want to know how you guys felt about these raids. I'm sure I'll get a lot of people that felt the same way I did, but then again, I might get people that felt otherwise. So I really want to hear how you guys felt about these raids and just your opinion on them, how you feel moving forward, how you're going to plan for them, any strategies that you caught on to that you would like to share. Definitely leave them down below. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I am looking forward to this calm day, even though it's Mankey Community Day, and Mankey Community Day is like every single day because Mankey appears everywhere. But we're not going to talk about it. But we're not going to talk about that. But other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe, and let me know how you feel about these raids. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.